Yes, people, we're here, we're live and direct with the one and only Joe Mersa Marley. Definite legend, okay? To me, anyway, he is. So, of course, who is Joe Mersa Marley? Tell the listeners out there.
He's a dope artist. I'm son of Stephen, grandson of Bob, son of grandson of Bob, overall a reggae artist. I would like to say more of a versatile artist, Jaff-hearing, I'm a very loving person. I love for joke around, and I'm serious at times.
Yeah.
So,
For real.
you don't know.
Definitely. And so, with that being said, people been asking me, yeah, but what advice does he get from his dad? So tell the listeners, what kind of advice does your dad give you?
I think one of the advices that always resonates with me the most is, to be true to yourself and let music show that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And next great advice is, you don't reach nowhere without hard work.
Yeah.
So if put in 100%, never 50 or 70 or 80, always 100.
For real.
So them things there, those are advices that always stick out with me. In motivational advices, you don't know, and just overall many things. But as I said, those are the ones that resonate with me more time when focus when focus is the main thing.
Definitely. But has there ever been a time when he's like, you know what, that tune there, nah, you can't play it? Has there ever been that kind of time?
Of course. Up to now, there are some songs where it be like, boy, maybe the line that you have to change, or this, or like I like where you're going, but the concept needs this, or in that kind of sense.
Yeah.
That kind of sense. He's giving me many of those advices as well, where it either be lyrically or production or just overall on the approach.
For real.
So or the delivery too, just overall.
Yeah, daddy roll, yeah. For real. And so one of the tunes that really kind of touched me really bad was Nothing's Gonna Harm You. Like, that tune there was just so real. Even made me cry when I first heard it, actually. So yeah, it was so deep. But I wanted to know kind of your thoughts behind that song and why you did it.
Nothing's Gonna Harm You. Well, how it originally came about was I watched a movie a long time ago.
Yeah.
And sometimes I like watching those movies with that's a musical. So sometimes we'll watch it when we're ready. And I heard that song. It also was Barbara Streisand originally did that song.
Okay.
So is a my interpretation, my forward again, and how it related to me. What influenced the song at first was the movie.
Okay.
I started the song, started putting my twist on it, and I couldn't stop singing. Nothing's gonna harm you, not while I'm around. And then, I didn't have enough inspiration at the time to finish it lyrically.
Okay.
Fast forward to 6-7 years later, where I had done some more research upon the song. As well too. My father is one who actually he brought the rhythm to me. Him say, remember that tune I used to sing, and he'd sang it back. Him say, I hear it on this. And then I said, alright, and then we started doing some more research, and when you check it out, it's I read an article, I believe, that said Barbara drew inspiration from her child.
Yeah.
And at that time when my father said he's hearing this song, my little daughter up on the way, she's in her mother's stomach.
Yeah.
So then that's how it's when I heard and say, oh wow, alright, so you will talk to your child, I'm going to be speaking to mine.
Yeah.
And I think it was her son, I believe.
Wow, what a powerful story. Yeah, wow, it's a powerful story. And the thing is, even in the actual video itself, you've got your dad, then your grandfather as well. So it's like a whole family thing coming together, for real.
Yeah, man. We're a very protective family. We're protective of each other. We're very protective of each other.
For real. You can feel that. You can feel the love between you all anyway, definitely. So you know what? Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the impact. I'm sure you've spoke about it, the impact of your grandfather. But not just that, your whole family. How does that kind of, hit you? How does that impact you?
Well, I would like to ask two things,
Yeah.
I definitely, before I answer that, I would like to know how has it impacted you? The thing is, when at least for me, when I think about those questions, when it's asked, it's more regular for me. First thing that comes to mind as well is my family, is my grandfather, and my father, and then and my uncles and my aunts and such forth, and then that next aspect of it where the work that they put out, the messages that they put out with them work, and what they represent, and what way of representation is through music. So, and just whatever you're doing, it don't even have to be music. It just shows a boy from the passionate about it, and Rastafari will always be watching over you from your nose. Say it's something where you're fully from the heart. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And they've impacted me in that sense where it just they're already heroes of mine, and then growing up and realizing also the impact that they have on others.
Yeah.
That's why I ask how do they would like to hear how they impact on you as well, because it's hearing how their impact is on others as well. It just I don't know if I can't speak for everybody, but I can say it motivates me to do better. I want to do better.
Definitely.
Is thinking of how can I help make a new opportunity, or how can I spread a message to our ones, or how can I reason about something that needs to be heard.
Yeah.
Just outside of you and I reasoning, and makes me want to be an overall human being, and just looking at the examples, not only as family but also as who they are to the world and who grandpa is to the world. See?
Yeah, for real. Well, to answer your question, my impact with, first of all, your granddad was when I was in school. I was getting bullied really badly. Yeah, it was really bad, like to a level where you were like, okay, I don't know what to do now. Yeah, and then I started listening to Bob Marley. Redemption Song was the song that I listened to, and it was like bam. And that was it. So I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna let anybody upset me anymore. I'm just gonna do what I need to do. And then when I heard as well that your grandfather used to suffer racist remarks due to his skin colour, I was like, wow, this is what I'm getting, and he got through it, so could I. And that's why, like, all the way in my flat, anybody that knows me, Bob Marley all the way. That's my kind of connection with him.
Man, one of my favorite songs of Grandpa as well, that sometimes it made me wonder what was his what was going on. What inspired him. For example, like the original to Hurting Inside, I also did a cover for that too.
Yeah.
Stone that the builder refused would always be there kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So it always, them things there has always you know, it made me wonder, it made me wish me did, I could have even reason with him and say, boy, you know, to that sense, other than when we have a spiritual moments and link up on that next field there.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
Yeah, for real.
So, even just sharing that as well.
No worries. It's true. It's I always think, wow, you know, a lot of your uncles, even yourself, you know, you kind of, he's living through you all, and you can see it all, and you can feel the spirit. I don't know if you're feeling it yourselves as you're doing it, but I can definitely can.
Of course, you know. I think the best way to say that is Grandpa did say the mother tired for seeing face. So I don't know if people realize how serious he was when he meant that.
For real.
And not only through his lineage, you know, through as well. One's got him inspire. He will live on through his people. Through him, you know.
Definitely.
Live on through us.
Yeah.
Through you and I now. You know, that's spreading the word of Rastafari and just a message of love.
Yeah, for real.
So,
yeah, man. And you know, you've done a song called Made It, and I think it's a very powerful song. When I was in your listening session, I was like, you know what? I'm feeling this song. I'm feeling it with Kabaka Pyramid. But one thing I have to ask you is, do you feel a connection with everyday people because of your name? Do you know what I mean? Like, do you ever think, oh, you know, I'm up there, but I'm not meaning to be? Do you understand what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're trying to say. Of course, I do have a connection with everyday people. Because I'm an everyday person myself. So, you know, the name aside, or whoever, I'm an everyday person, and you know, when I was younger, I'm not going to make it sound like I've ever depended on a job or like that, because I've always known some music was my calling. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's not like I paid any of that too much mind, and I'm privileged enough to can have not only decided that so young, but also know say you know, if I keep on working hard enough, I'll be able to prove to Pop say, yeah, I'm serious. Yeah. And I'm showing them say, yo, this music thing is just more than, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's not a hobby. Yeah. Or it's not because I watch, you know, or it's because I want to be, you know, everyone in the family is doing music. It's not none of those things. It was genuinely the love and showing that. So, you know, when as I said, I've never maybe had one little thing where I work at like a little park in Miami here or something, a little thing, we call it a little job in high school, kind of as well. You get what them call it, you get on the job experience, you get to leave the school as well. Yeah. So, you know, them things there, and then in the writing process as well. Now where it came to that song is something where, you know, I can say I had the moment of hearing my first tune on the radio. Yeah, wow. But I've lived in a family where you always there's that moment. I guess you would say is kind of always there. You know, Dad drops a new tune here, and that excitement, the house is, you know, that you know what I mean. So is kind of like it to me, you know, dropping a song coming like you hear say Brazil just win and we go a step further to finals. Like, you know, that kind of excitement to us, and so that is the excitement where I always grew up with. So I already had kind of a understanding of what it felt to have been here. You are hearing something that you've been working on for the last couple of months or years, and it finally being put out. Made It was more put in the direction, like what you said, relatable. I wanted to relate that is actually, you know, you have your passion, but this job here, that this is what's getting me by. This is not it for me, but it's for the moment. It's a thing for me, you know. And it's not you know, where once again, where I can say I'm privileged enough where I grew up and I can just directly do what I love. It's a lot of people don't have that, you know, so something that always thought that even brought to my attention, for example, is like, how was it for my grandfather when him and I said this in the listening session because it actually was something where's a thought process whereas boy, I wonder how Bob called up the steel mill and said, boy, you know, say much una bun down radio
for true.
You know, that's it. You have to go find and replace. So even that I felt like it's related to it. Or it's relatable to me, pardon me, because of those things. And you know, it is also motivation for me. Just to remind people as well to say, don't feel like say if you have this 9 to 5 that you're doing, don't get depressed. And you know, if you's an art, if you's a painter and you're painting beautiful pictures, but it don't pop off right now, don't let them get you down. Don't let the bad mind that's in the job or your friend or whoever that's in around the environment. Don't let them. Don't let that. You know. Don't let that get to you. That's not. And you know, I think that's why it came up. And you know, just getting Kabaka on the song to as somebody that even more relates to the concept of the music as well. And man, it's just a bad lyricist as well. Overall, a dope artist where I personally, you know, I'm influenced by his music and listen to a lot of his work as well. And you know, it just hearing how it just come together, how it forward naturally is just
his,
you know, I'm overjoyed.
Definitely, his freestyles are crazy. So big up Kabaka Pyramid for real. Definitely. So, you know, speaking of that, you yourself and the whole of your family are always very humble, but does, you know, having the name Marley kind of decrease your creativity? Because, you know, Marley, we know it as a conscious vibe, we know it as to be positive, but say if you did like, I don't know, a whining tune, for example.
No, you know, what's funny is I actually just replied to a comment from someone on Instagram, where he kind of said something that is sort of, you know, he said, for example, with Made It, he said, I only made it because of my grandfather, and he didn't brag about it. And you know, my reply to him was, you know, I think you maybe need to study a little bit more songwriting. It's more of a storytelling. It's not a bragging thing. It's a motivational thing. So sometimes what I'm trying to say is sometimes you have people that have a standard of me because I am a Marley. That you know, I understand them want to uphold that standard, but at the same time, like what you said, but decide when Bob said turn your lights down low, he's talking about, you know, being in love with a woman and getting intimate and such forth. You know, I think that I see is like a generational thing. You know, you look at your generation and you say, boy, my generation wasn't like that. Your moms will be looking at you and then saying, you know, well, you guys are way slacker than mine. My generation was slack, and then such forth and such forth and such forth. So I think that more is a generational thing. So I don't when I allow it to get to me. You know, if I want to sing a one wind up tune for the girls then so be it. I don't have no problem with it. I do dance myself when I go out. I don't. It is the truth. You know what I mean? It's to me. No, I don't let them things there get to me. There is no decrease in creativity. As a matter of fact, I try to increase the creativity because of my last name and because of I know that people are already expecting something from me. You know?
For real.
Try to increase it and do it positively in my own way. And that's the most important thing there, you know, from it's a positive tune and it gets to you the right way.
Yeah.
It's not going to relate to everybody.
Yeah.
As it might relate to the younger, it might get the younger ones different. Boy, I completely get you.
Yeah.
But the elder one might say, boy, I like it, but
yeah, for real.
Yeah, 1 2 things you know.
Yeah.
So no, I wouldn't say it decreases the creativity.
That's good, because I remember your tune Comfortable.
See?
I was like, woo, that's a tune. But I think sometimes it might just be the wording. So when you talk about your grandfather talking about turn your lights down low, it's the wording, where if you were saying, I don't know, bend over, blah blah blah, it might have been a different, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get that, but I mean, back then to turn your lights down low wasn't weird. Bob sing weird, you?
Yeah.
I mean, it said the wording, and it's as the generation grow up, the words are different. Once upon a time, it for say, boy, look, my full of style. You hear people say, boy, it's what them call it again, stilo.
Yeah.
Now it's swag. So it's
changing.
Just showing, that once upon a year, Super Cat say, in Josephine, hello baby, over here is near and over there is far.
Yeah.
Nowadays is baby just come wine for me, just cut short. So, you know what I mean?
For real.
And that's why I say I think it's a generational thing, even down to the wording and how the words has evolved into different fashions. If I say, with some of the younger generations, and you get to find out, so even some that will they'll hear them father or grandmother or whoever or such forth say a word, and to them it means something else.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
So even those things as well plays a part in it, I believe.
Definitely. One thing that's seems to be a big topic now, especially in Jamaica, well, that's where it seems to have been hitting, is the responsibility of artists. And I wanted to know your opinions. What do you think your responsibility is?
Well, my responsibility is, to speak life.
Yeah.
As Uncle Damien.
Yeah.
That would be my responsibility, to speak life. Now forward again to the wording. I don't agree with how every artist words it.
Okay.
But I do agree with the content, and that's their levity. It's their truth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And what they're growing up and seeing. Like, you hear a man say it when them talk about them grow up in a garrison, or you hear a man say, boy, no man can't diss me, come with them open up head. I don't agree with the open up head, but I agree with the part that you're saying that you will defend yourself, and this is the life you're living around. You know what I mean?
For real.
So that's what I take from it. Yeah, the I would say to a certain degree the artists do need to take accountability, but at the same time, I believe that they're taking accountability within their songs and showing that. And if them life is like the book, and it's them reading the book before them letting anybody else read the book. Them they still write it and write down what's going on and very. And then to me there's also like it's kind of, how you would say it now, hypocritical. I find it kind of contrary as well, because when they're speaking, they're now speaking their life. Yeah. And it's don't talk that, or don't. Yeah. Look how you're influencing. Look how the system put them to grow up in and go through.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Some people don't know how to express them. I give thanks for music. I give thanks for the artists. Music had given them that way. Yeah. Because them could have expressed themselves through badness.
Yeah, definitely.
Because them feel like that's the only way that them going to do better for themselves, or can provide, if that being the case, or for better of word, better choice of word, you know, for provide for themselves, them family.
Yeah, for real.
And to protect themselves and them family. So I don't think it's fair at the same time to beat down artists for their being a product of their environment.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah, for
but
real.
there is truth to it. I still agree that, you know, we should not only be a product of our environment, it's also spread more peace and more love. And, you know, if while we're telling our stories, sometimes it's best to cuss a bad word if that's how you feel, to get your emotion out.
Yeah.
Or sometimes you don't have to cuss the bad word, but it's you know, you go back to choice of word, like you said. So it still plays a part there. And, you know, I find there's good points in both sides. Yeah. There's good points in both sides that I agree with. I'm kind of in the middle.
Okay. For real. Yeah. Now I understand, because, you know, I feel what you're saying, because I'm kind of the same. Well, they're in this environment, this is their way of expression, so why not express it, you know?
Right.
But at the same time, I'm like, our young people are seeing this. Is this the right thing to express at the same time?
Right. like it. Oh no, you think of certain places, you know, even with Jamaica, certain things, for example. Your artists here come to Jamaica, sandals, you hear this, you hear that. For example, they show you the pretty, which enough other countries do as well. See? But I'm just going to speak of Jamaica.
Yeah.
Where enough time to me when I feel like say is like a magic show. It's like, all right, more you focus on the pretty side and we're going to draw the curtain. And you don't see, it's like a Wizard of Oz. Whatever that movie they call Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
Somebody behind the curtain where them don't want you see. How them pulling the strings and what's going on behind and how the country really is, other than these nice parts of it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So in that aspect, you know, it's like music coming like someone become whistleblowers. And then you don't speak about that. No, man. You know, don't talk up, don't, you know. So, you know, to that degree, that's what I get. But it is truth.
Yeah.
And if it's something that someone, you know, if you know at the same time, if it weren't for these artists, you wouldn't also be aware that there's this lifestyle being lived out the road.
True. Yeah.
So it still does give you that aspect on them life and just liberty in general. So it's not always what they want you to see. It is,
true.
You know what I mean?
Definitely. And then, you know, speaking of that as well, there's been lots of topics on the authenticity of Rasta and, you know, the kind of shift. That's what's been spoken of, as in, you know, we've got people whining and all this. And I wanted to know your opinions. Have you spoke as a family about it? I just wanted to know your thoughts about it.
Upon the authenticity of Rasta, like when you say whining.
So, you know, like, we had, you know, the big kind of controversial story about Fantan Moja. You know, he's a Rasta man and he was whining and all this. That sort of thing.
I mean, is there something wrong with whining? So Rasta can't whine? Like, I don't understand. Like I don't, you know, that's what I don't understand. I'm not 100% familiar with the Fantan Moja situation to that depth there, where we'll come to be like really speaking upon his thing. But what I can say is that no, I don't see nothing wrong with it. Like when you say authenticity, no, dancing does dancing really give someone the right to question your authenticity or your spirituality or your religious beliefs?
For real.
I don't think that is fair. Yeah. You know, who are you to do that?
Yeah.
Because because bald them can't, them not for skank. That's only for Rasta.
Yeah, true.
You know,
Yeah.
That dancing is an expression of oneself.
Yeah.
So regardless if boy I feel like bust too wine because I mean my wife there and we are listening to Shabar, we are listening to some skanking sweet or whatever inside to wine up wine up too. There's nothing wrong with it to me, man. I mean, because we're Rasta, we enough to enjoy ourselves.
Yeah, for real. And then there's been other stories, you know, with like there was a story as well about Jesse Royal and he was in a Santa's advert, and you know, there's so many different things, and that's why I'm like, I gotta ask you about it, man.
That too, with what, Jesse as well?
Yeah, so I don't know if you've seen it.
Santa advert?
Yeah, Santa, you know, Santa advert. And
where in the advertisement, where was Jesse with Santa?
No, so I think he was just holding presents, and it was like to do with Christmas, and then there was a big thing about him, why is he in a Santa or Christmas advert when he's a Rasta man, you know?
That again too, I've heard about it, I haven't seen it, or any of those things. I personally don't get, as a Rasta man, I get where it's coming from. But at the same time, alright, like I can speak on this too, where you know, you in the industry, them will call you and say, yo, want you for a commercial with your whole a gift. You shoot your scene.
Yeah.
You do your part. It's not you controlling the editing.
Yeah.
So it doesn't as well too, and that's not an excuse I'm making. That's actual facts.
Yeah.
When you know. But as I say, I don't know the whole. I didn't even speak with Jesse about this thing because I don't even find it something that's that important to me in that sense. Where, you know, there's so much other things going on in the world, and a commercial is really what we're spending so much time discussing about. You know what I mean?
For real. Yeah.
That's to me that kind of, as I say, one side I get it, but the next side it kind of petty, man. We have enough things better. We have better things to be speaking about, like, you know. It's not talk, you know. It.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know about it as the religious part. I once again I would not question his because I know Jesse.
Yeah.
He's a very strict person when it comes to him religious beliefs. When it comes to Rastafari, them it's not a play thing. You know what I mean? So in that sense, you know, I have to go catch up with this. You know, I have to go ask him now. I said, well, I know I'm late to this, but
no, the reason why I asked you is because the reason why I asked you, as you know, is because there's lots of different discussions about it, lots of different talks about all these different things, and it's interesting to know somebody else's thought process behind it. And just looking at your facial expression, you're like, forget this.
Yeah, because to me it's just not an important topic. No disrespect to the question.
Yeah, no, true.
It's not something that it's not. You know, them things there. So for me to sum it up, regardless of my opinion, that question is better suited to Jesse.
Yeah, man.
So that upon that topic, that's what I can say. You know.
Yeah, definitely respect. So then, I wanted to talk to you about. I remember I seen a YouTube video, and it was wicked. It was yourself, your dad, Damien, and Spragga Benz. You were at Book for Luck, and it was like an intimate kind of affair kind of thing, as in like the audience and so on. And one of the best moments was when you kind of turned your dad's song back on himself. Do you remember it?
No.
So all I seen was you were doing your tune, and then all of a sudden you were like straight back on him.
No, I don't. I have to go revisit that. No, but we do that from time to time. We do that from time to time. We just have a little fun.
Yeah.
sometimes when you're being on the mic, sometimes you hear enough, I hear through that the fresh lyrics come out. Sometimes to all the vibes, sometimes you don't even want to sing your own tune. I could have sing a Spragga Band, I could have sing a Shatter Culture, and I feel like it. Like, it just depends on the energy. You know, it's that, and we'll do it from time to time. Sometimes, you know, that will come touch the mic, really, bust two tune.
Yeah.
And, you know, for me, that sounds like one of those moments where, one of my favorite people, one of the DJ, so that's where it could have been one of those moments.
For me, it was just your dad's face when you did it. He was like, what? It was wicked. For real. It was wicked.
And, as Mersa will do that from time to time. I think he actually, that's something I've learned from him. That's one of his things.
Okay.
So it's something that he's done to me before.
Okay.
We do here, you know.
Yeah.
Same thing for God. We'll probably do every one or two freestyle, and the next rhythm come on, you hear him start the rock and sing, and say, all right. You know.
For real. So, you know, how do you decide who you're going to collab with? Because, you know, you've done a collab with Busy Signal, Kabaka P. How does that decision come about?
Jah works in mysterious ways. That's I wouldn't even. How does it come about? I would say that. Hold on there. Sorry, I'm going to be right back to that question.
Okay.
See?
Yeah.
Come I want to ask you as well. What I wanted to ask you a while ago is, how come, what was your thoughts upon the authenticity of a Rasta person when dancing, whining, or even being in a commercial? What is your thoughts on it being as an empress? As a Rasta, as someone of the Rastafarian faith? What are your thoughts upon it?
So, for me, I've been a big fan of just because those are the examples. So, for the one with Phantom Moja, it was just because from when he was very young, you know, I've known him to do conscious vibes, like constantly. And then all of a sudden, it seemed like a switch. But then I was like, whoa, where did this happen? How come that happened? So I ain't gonna lie, I was a little bit disappointed. But Phantom Moja as a artist, fantastic. And then with the commercial aspect of it, as you said, I didn't really know a lot about it. I just seen that he was in a commercial, and I was like, this is a bit strange. What's happened? But surely, I'm hoping that Jesse knew that this would be the end outcome, but I don't know. So that's why I had to ask you.
That's something I don't know either, you know?
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to ask as well.
Yeah.
You know, what were your thoughts? Oh, but I had seen him say something that he had said that what got him, I think him said he didn't take a payment for the commercial because of what it was with don't quote me. I don't know if his post was still there.
Yeah.
But along the lines of, you know, it wasn't a money thing, it was more the charity it's the charity that was behind it and what he was doing that motivated to do that. But once again, as I said, I don't know too much.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen the video, I haven't spoken with him about it.
Yeah.
It maybe was a topic one time. And I just wanted to hear as well, outside of who I've spoken with about it, I wanted to hear what were your thoughts. I felt that, you know, that would be good. Just like how you said you did it kind of made me think to myself, that why, I don't know what she thinks about it.
Yeah.
But getting back to the tune them now with Busy and Kabaka. Busy was originally doing some work with my uncle and my father, and he was shooting a video.
Yeah.
He was doing some other work, shooting some other videos and stuff up here, and being in the studio, and it was a thing where we can play, you know, but look up to him and stuff. So as not only, you know, as an artist, just, you know, as an overall artist, and just as somebody where where his reputation in Jamaica as a person and as well, and what he like does and gives back to his community and stuff like that, and just as a person, you know, is somebody I look up to. So it was like one of those moments of it. To me, it was like playing music to like one of my uncle them or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was just like, boy, and I said we can play two things. And at the time, Yo Dog had the featured verse on it.
Okay.
The space. And him hear the tune and him just say, yo, Mom, you know?
Yeah.
Give I'm ready. That's my space right there.
Wow.
Send forward, let me deal with it. And he gave me that really sick verse, and he did it in Jamaica. He didn't do it. I didn't get to see him do it. I never did that when he did that write the verse. But I wish I was good. I wish I was there. That would have been a vibe. I wish I was there. And with Kabaka now, made it, for example, after the idea drop and just start within my head and driving around. Big up Kat and Silent Alley them, because when they sent me the rhythm had already said made it.
Okay.
So it was made it rhythm. And that also had played a little part upon the concept as well. Being with the name, and you know, when I read the name and then same way how I tell you, say it's like, you know, that it just started, boy, I wonder how grandpa call him I made it, and you know that the story started developing.
Wow.
And became the music. So knock out the chorus, the two verse. My first and second verse was already written before Kabaka.
Okay.
With his part.
Yeah.
So when you hear him say, like if we know really, that's actually, that was influence from what me do, my third verse. So, yeah, we do that part there, I think to myself now, I say, yo, you know, say, Kabaka with a bad pan, such and such with a bad pan, and as I call Kabaka name, the man walking through there, and I was like, yo, you know, so I just a thing about you, I can live long. I said, what go on? I hear what go on, and I say, you know, and the man say, yeah, man, so I was just thinking about you and the song, bro, and we say, I see a little space there. Is that for me? And I said, well, that ain't my G. The man just looked, he said, you know, the mic on? Mark Lee said yes. Man just go in and write theme verse within the space of like 5 minutes. You know, fast like that, lyrically, fast. Yeah. It's very fast.
Yeah. Wow.
Who else? We have Black Amai on it.
Okay.
Who's also on a label. He means somebody that I respect as an artist, as a poet. You have a poetic way of writing. And Black Amai, whenever I want to reason about some spiritual thing, he means one of those people that he means one of my eye dream them when we got to.
Yeah.
So, you know, that we have a tune that don't come out yet, which you know though. But you know, even him, when I heard it, I was like, yeah, man, no say real warrior in a army this.
Yeah.
Where hit this tune, and it you know, it is. You don't know. But look up to him as well as a writer and somebody that you know influences and motivates me to try to write. Him every time I hear him write a tune or a verse, it make me want to read up more of these. Him have a way a poetic way of delivering where it's just it's like, boy, I need to go read up some more different book, or when I not read, or yo, bro, what's where you going with? Which documentary? Like, so, and you know, same thing with Kabaka them too, as well. I don't want it to sound like it's just a lyrical thing. We already have some reasonings where, you know what I mean? It's just like, more always I wonder how them man is based upon even how they write. I'm wondering,
yeah,
why, what's what's going on up there?
Yeah.
You know, when you read today before you come straight,
True. That's mad.
You know, so yeah, you have you know, every artist upon it. It was a good thing as well, and yeah, we do that part there. I think to myself now, man, I say, yo, you know, say Kabaka with a bad pan, such and such with a bad pan, and as I call Kabaka name, the man walking through there. And I was like, yo, you know, so I just a thing about you. Like I live long. I say, what go on? I hear what go on, and I say, you know, and the man say, yeah, man, so I was just thinking about you and the song, bro. And we say, I see a little space there. Is that for me? And I say, right, my G, the man just look. He said, you know, the mic on. Mark Lee said yes. Man just go in and write theme verse within the space of like 5 minutes. You know, fast like that, lyrically, fast. Yeah. It's very fast.
Yeah. Wow.
Who else? We have Black Am I on it.
Okay.
Who's also on the label. He means somebody that I respect as an artist, as a poet. You have a poetic way of writing. And important role as well with the busy feature.
Okay.
Just you know, overall and overseeing that as well, you know. So, you know, I just give thanks and I just say, you know, like, I work in mysterious ways, you know, because as an artist, I know it's always a gamble when it comes to each other's schedule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes it can be linked, and it's not all the time. Where, for example, man, them do working on their own projects as well.
Yeah.
So when them linking up, it's not like I'm going to hear say, boy, I could stop this specific tune. I don't know, and then it's not. So when people do that, when artists do that as well, I'm even more honored than you know, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a thing where I can't. It's only the most I can tell me. It's only Jack and you know. Or when I'm just going to be there, Marvel, one day, and you know, it just worked out so perfect, and I'm thankful.
For real.
I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. I don't know what to say. It's just you know, I'm just honored.
For real. Yeah, because that's why I asked you, because I was thinking, how do you feel about it? You know, somebody is, you know, time is one thing you can't really get back, and then they're putting that time into you. Like, I wonder how it felt, you know, just that wondering how it felt.
Time plays a major part in the music industry, you know. It's not always, timing is a very it's a very peculiar thing, I guess, if that's the right word I'm looking for. But you know, it's something that is not everybody understands, you know. So it's a thing that does play a part. So when you see somebody other than them, I work on a project, and you see them say, all right, for them to stop them project and say, yo, or even as well, just say, boy, the tune bad, and all right, yo, you see, you know, if from the creativity as well, for somebody to stop creating from them own and start upon this new creating thing as well, you know, just overall those things, gratitude is a must.
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
To be grateful for those things.
Definitely.
And I think that gratitude and humbleness, remaining humble upon those things and knowing say nothing before it's time as well, plays a major part upon those things happening.
Yeah.
So those things, with those, as I said, I don't know how to word it properly. Not only am I a fan of these people, but I just give thanks that the man them take time out of them schedule and just you know, just give thanks.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, definitely. And it's a blessing that you're expressing that, because you don't hear it a lot. You don't really hear the gratitude for each artist, because I know you all put lots of work in. You all have lots of different things that you do, and it's really nice to hear an artist say, you know what, I respect the fact that this man came and put the time into my piece and my project. So it's nice to hear.
Yeah, man, of course. I mean, it's not, and it's not always, you know what I mean? It's not always, as I say, it don't always work out how you would plan for it to go. And then sometimes we link up enough too, so it's not like certain things that don't happen. It's not like we don't power musically, but it's just how things end up happening is what's the beautiful thing of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for real. So you know what? Tell the listeners about this new project that you've got coming, because the tunes, I haven't been able to express to anybody how the tunes are just so. I'm loving the vibe that you were doing in the listening session. Definitely feeling each and every one. So tell the listeners something about the project that you've got coming up, what it's called, when it can be all coming out, and so on.
Project is called Eternal. Consists of 7 tracks. People that have worked on it, producers. You have Jazzwad, and an ex talented producer named Andre, that worked on Yoda. Jazzwad himself did an ex tune called No Way Out with Black Amai. Kat and Silent had them. Kat produced it, Silent had them played that yo bro, I have this feel. Wait. The company, and they made it. See, my cousin Soul did a tune that's called That Dream. Skip's older brother Soul, Auntie C's firstborn. Him bad producer as well. You have, who else? You have Riff Raff, Lamar Brown. He worked on 2 of the records as well. One we produced together, and the next one, and that one is called Guess Who's Coming Home, and the next one called Thinking. So those is the 7 tunes. And we also have a mixtape coming out with a lot more freestyles and going forward to the you would say now more of the golden era of the dance hall, and when the toasting and the freestyles and where the foundation of where it come from, and me just holding a dry, freestyling myself, holding a dry and just doing some different, it's what you would say. I think my freestyle do give a lot more of a comedic aspect of me, and it showcases that part of my personality where I'm a jovial person. I like joking. I love laughter. Laughter is good, you know what I mean? Because at the same time I serious too much. So if that's a huge part of who I am and how I am. I love a good joke. I love joking. I love I like when a conversation have those things where you can enjoy it not only upon the point that it's something educational or we're both learning something or teaching something, but as well where we can some carding joke, those things are good, and I think that's a part of me, and it showcases that side of me. And overall, what it does to me too is I wanted to showcase a little bit more of my lyrical prowess. For sure, I'm lyrical too. So it's what it is, and outside of what people expect natural reggae and the desire that from me are such forth. It also showcases that side of versatility upon genre and other music that does influence me and music that I listen to and I'm influenced by. For example, up to this day, I still listen to Thriller from Michael Jackson when I'm ready. Just for show you outside of my Burning Spear, I'm a Cocotte, I'm a Bob Marley, I'm a Peter Tosh, or outside I'm a Shabba, I'm a Super Cat, I'm a Ninja Man, you know what I mean? Outside of those things, my homegrown artists and that aspect, and the rappers and the hip hop and rock and roll, even EDM and dubstep, even what them call it? Soca and what them call, it's not soca thinking about that one.
How about grime?
I listen to reggaeton as well. How about that?
Grime.
Yes, of course. I'm a big fan of that. I'm a fan of grime.
Yeah.
I'm drill. I'm a fan of both of those things. I'm a big fan of it. Fan of Skepta them, gigs. I listen to them. I've been a fan of their music actually before, in my opinion, before even, for example, Christopher Ellis is a man where he introduced me to that first.
Okay.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
See, and ever since then, I've been a fan of it. And every time, if I'd watch some videos or listen to some of the man them tune before it got an attention of the American market and such forth. In my opinion, I don't know. I can only talk about how it's impacted me and from what I've seen. You know what I mean? But Christopher Ellis is actually a person who introduced me to grime.
Okay.
And drill music. So him, big up Chris for that. Give thanks, my G. As well as a next artist that I've worked with.
Okay.
And I've come through, and he's actually on the LP. So I'm not give it too much about that. Let's stick to the EP. It's Eternal, see?
Yeah.
Eternal. 7 tracks, and it also comes with a mixtape. The mixtape will be done by Silent Addy and the Bashman crew. Silent Addy and this coming then. So can't wait for that forward out too.
Yeah, you know what? I'm so happy that you like grime because, it's so it's got a mixture. Yeah, it's got a mixture of Jamaican culture, dancehall, reggae. It's got a mixture of everything.
Yeah. And that energy in it, man. That energy, it's just so it hard. It just energy, man.
For real.
Energy, where it just get with the word now. It just
definitely.
It has this full energetic vibe to it, man. It as abstract is the best word where you use, and it just the energy there where is an undescribable thing. It's a force to be reckoned with. I have 1 and 2 drill and grime tunes that I've done myself. I haven't released them yet. Let's see when we decide to do this.
For real. So what are you thinking about at the moment in regards to there's been so much to do with George Floyd, the kind of racism and all these different very impactful topics. What's your kind of views and thoughts about, and how did you feel when you seen Guilty on the TV?
I was happy. I was really happy. I was really happy. But my first thought was, it's a beginning.
Yeah.
It's a beginning. And that's what my first thoughts are, is that it is a thing where it's also a beautiful thing where that it shows to me, and I think it reminds people of the power that them have. Without the people, them don't have no power.
Yeah.
See, so when you see the protests and just how for example, how even the black community, how we came together upon that sense, and them things, they're beautiful to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because other than them thing, other than what the system do, the system has also put us against each other. So it's also, to me, it's a very magical thing to see everybody come together upon those things. But still, a topic that I believe, it's something now because of how everything is going on. But I'm sure that them going to start have campaigns to kind of kill that vibe. That for sure say they don't want you to know that about the corruption in them thing. They don't want you to know that. So they're going to that's something else that me kind of think. I say, all right, great. Yes, George Floyd, we have so much more that's on the table for still go through, you know, like Breonna Taylor's and so much more.
Yeah.
And not only in America, you know, Jamaica as well, as well, Europe, England, London, like there's so much Africa.
Yeah.
You know, there's so much Brazil. You know, I can go on. This is a worldwide thing. It's not a one place thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's an emotional thing too. I'm not gonna lie. I cry a little bit to how I was overwhelmed with joy.
Yeah.
to see, all right, finally, you guys, sister, we're not taking it. We're not gonna stand for this. And, all right, great, you know.
Yeah.
Just seeing everybody who put in them fight in the way that they do fight, to the ones who protests, to the ones who got to the protests, to the ones whose fight was being the voice heard and doing it through the music, or to the ones who know, say, boy, I can go on TV and do this, or the social media influencers and such forth. All of them things there too. That's, you know, is the next way of seeing, say, the battlefield has become bigger, and we've adjusted in how to utilize weapons that you've given us to dumb us down.
Yeah.
So,
True.
So,
yeah.
It's a beautiful thing.
For real.
We're using their own tools against them.
Yeah. True. Definitely. Yeah, because the reason why I asked you is because you kind of sort of touched upon it anyway, because I was overwhelmed that it was guilty, which was a good thing, but I was like, what next?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah. The first, you know?
Yeah.
What's the girl when we say where they were the 16-year-old? What's her name? Michaela Bryant. You know, even that video is very disturbing. And just it. And mind you, I only saw a little bit of it. I don't even want to go too deep into that video until I personally have a full understanding of what happened. But still, in that same aspect, police just pull up and can just shoot you. I'm gonna see a next one with this next little boy, this Spanish boy, where you put up him hands and the man just shoot him. So it's those things where it's you know, I don't want even it goes to a thing where I start even say people fight against the Black Lives Matter movement. You know what I mean? It's a All Lives Matter movement at the same time, but it's something that dominantly happens to black people in over the world. See, and it is something that you know, it should be brought to our attention through those movements. And I don't think we need more movements of that in that type of sense. I think them things is a beautiful thing. I think if we're more organized more and more, the system will realize they realize where they stand versus the people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They will realize that, all right, if we going so and you and your 10 houses of partner or whatever you want to be and the this and the that and when we can go on, but when the majority of us is here,
Yeah.
it you know,
Yeah.
it becomes that thing where what's the word now? Can't beat where you're going to have to join me. You're going to have to get used to that.
Yeah.
Them going to have to get used to that because a long time we tell them so them can't beat we. And it's what's the new word? People are becoming more woke, as they would say, you know. So
for real, definitely.
yeah.
So you know what? I thought, you know, I knew that I was going to be asking a few topics that were hard hitting. So I thought, let's do something fun with Joe Mersa. Let's have a little bit of fun. And I know you like joking around. Do you reckon if I gave you 5 words, did a little beatbox for you, and then see if you can freestyle a little flavour, what do you reckon?
Alright, make we try. But
Okay.
I'm not the biggest freestyler, you know. Alright, let's go. Let's
Alright.
try something.
What, do you want a fast little beat or a slow beat? What do you reckon?
You know what, let me write down them words. Hold on. You said devotion, love.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Alright.
Sing a tune about Kat-a-lyst, self-promotion. That's a love song. From me idea of my name, it's me a tour how long? Tour pan? That from my idea of my name, it's me a tour how long? Tour pan, and I know we tour the ocean. That's all with the motion. That's a no man. Alright, my beat. No, sir, you catch me. You catch me. You catch me. No, sir. I'm trying to. I'm put on the spot. I'm put on the spot.
maybe it's the beat. Maybe go slower. So.
No, sir.
That's gonna book you, you know. That's gonna book you.
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna book you.
It is. I could see. It's gonna bug me. I'm gonna do it later and watch. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay. I can see you just. I can see it going around in your mind. Like, I need to do this.
I'm not one to rise to the occasion, you know. It's not one like to but yeah, we do have those moments where the African admit defeat. So.
Wow. Yeah, man. You know what? It's been up talking to you. Just having a little reason, you know, because sometimes, I don't know about you, but sometimes when everything's going on, it can seem a little bit crazy. You seem like you're the only one thinking things and, you know, all these different things. So it's always a blessing speaking with sort of like like-minded in so many ways.
Yeah, man, give thanks for it.
Yeah, man, for real.
I appreciate the interview. I appreciate you know, taking the time out and having me within your program as well. So just give thanks for these things, and you know, we're grateful the same way.
Definitely. Blessings. You know what? Before you go, would you be up for doing a little big up DJKat kind of vibe? No freestyling, no.
You ready?
I'm ready.
Blessed love, this is Joe Mersa and you're tuning into DJKat scene. Big up. Pack my things up and I moved out the basement. Cause we made it.
Yeah. Wow.